The University of North Carolina system became the latest university system to eliminate its diversity, equity, and inclusion program. Now, that decision was made last month, and a nonpartisan group claims $90 million was spent implementing that program. News 13's Charles Perez reports.
A whopping $90 million is the number given to the UNC Board of Trustees as the amount of money spent annually by the state on DEI programs.
$90 million is the total salary of all 700 employees, some dedicated to DEI, some in a DEI-related role, but not their primary responsibilities.
Adam Andrzejewski is founder of OpenTheBooks.com. He and his organization provided numbers to the UNC Board of Regents on where to cut funding to get the biggest bite out of the program.
We were able to quantify that nearly 700 UNC employees across 300 departments in the 16 universities are in some way or another involved in pushing DEI into every facet of the entire complex.
The high numbers the result of estimates prompted by the discovery of an internal UNC Chapel Hill memo coming directly from the office of the chancellor.
I don't know if you've seen this memo.
The July 2020 memo going out from the office of then Chancellor Kevin Guskiewicz to 40 likely UNC department heads.
And it discussed how UNC Chapel Hill is a structurally racist campus and what they were going to do to correct the structural racism at the campus.
According to Andrzejewski, the memo is essentially a smoking gun revealing a complex system designed to push a DEI agenda on campus and into university classrooms.
It goes right to the inflection point moment, at least at Chapel Hill, where DEI was pushed into every facet of the university.
The memo, seen here, asks staff to submit answers to 3 questions. 1, identify the strengths and weaknesses of efforts to eliminate structural racism on campus. 2, answer what you can do to take a stand against structural racism and for equity. And 3, it asks if there are others we can learn from to be agents of change against structural racism. The memo was issued approximately 2 months after the murder of George Floyd by a white police officer on May 25th of that year. The killing sparked reaction throughout the nation. So OpenTheBooks.com looked at the payroll of the UNC system, adding up the salaries of everyone who may have been tied to what he calls the entire complex of everybody under the DEI rubric, and came up with $90 million.
So we felt the $90 million was important just to show how deeply entrenched DEI is in the payroll of the entire system.
$90 million, including salaries for everyone from the vice provost at UNC Chapel Hill to whomever down the line may have been asked to answer the 3 questions on that memo. And he says it could be even more. UNC Chapel Hill issued a response suggesting Andrzejewski's numbers are exaggerated, saying, quote, the UNC system requires each campus to report its annual budget on DEI operations and activities, including personnel and non-personnel costs. UNC Chapel Hill's most recent report from July 2023 included approximately $2.3 million. OpenTheBooks.com has forwarded its numbers to the Board of Regents, who'll decide how and where to make the cuts to root out the program.
Okay, the UNC Board of Governors voted to remove its DEI policy by a vote of 22-2 last month and replace it with one called Equality Within the University of North Carolina. That new policy confirms a commitment to non-discrimination without mentioning race. Schools are required to be in compliance with this new policy by September 1st.